Now let's have a look at today's papers, the story that we've been talking about. The paper's also focusing on Rishi Sunak's election pledge to introduce national service. I think the Conservatives announced this about 10 o'clock last night, just in time for some of the papers to scramble and change their front pages. The Sunday Times saying that the Prime Minister says that the programme will give young people a shared purpose and a renewed sense of pride in Britain.
The Sunday Telegraph also carries a story. However, its front page also reports that victims of the infected blood scandal are suing the government after describing the compensation plan for those affected as woefully inadequate. The paper says hundreds of victims have alleged that ministers failed in their duty of care to protect them. The government say they won't comment on ongoing legal issues.
The other story that's on quite a few of the front pages this morning is this one from the Sunday Mirror, leading with the split of the married TV presenters Eamonn Holmes and Ruth Langsford. The paper saying that the former This Morning hosts are divorcing after 14 years of marriage. They've been together a good deal longer, I think.
And looking at the Observer's back page, we can see Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag embracing his players after their FA Cup win over Manchester City. It was brilliantly described on 5 Live yesterday, actually. I was out in the garden in the sun listening to the FA Cup, and it was really exciting. It was, what it means for his future at Manchester United, who knows? Who
knows? But no, there were lots of big smiles from Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Alex Ferguson and the Glazer representatives as well who were there. So.
More on that in the sport in a couple of minutes' time. There was one story inside the papers, actually, which caught my eye this morning, and this is all about a new project, a new medical project to try and help children with allergies. And it's been set up by the charity Natasha Allergy Research Foundation, which was set up in the name of the young girl, Natasha Ednan Laperouse, who, do you remember, at the age of 15 died. An allergic reaction from a sandwich. And what they're doing is they are exposing children to the things they are allergic to in tiny doses. Now, this is not
when they're really
entirely
young,
new. Well, no. So in the case that they cite here in the Sunday Times this morning, it's a 12-year-old boy who is severely allergic to peanuts, and they are giving him a tiny dose of peanuts and then increasing it by increments every couple of weeks to try and build up a tolerance to it. So the first time he had a little bit of peanut, he was terrified because you've been told your whole life, stay away. And he came out in hives, started wheezing, but they could deal with it because they were in hospital, they had the EpiPen, and they learned how much of the peanut dose he could tolerate, and gradually over time. So now he's up to 6 peanut M&Ms. That's what he can now tolerate, and they're gradually going to...
Which I suppose takes away that you know, the fear that you might be exposed to another child in the classroom who's having a peanut
Well, they hope, I guess, ultimately
it
will kind of desensitise them entirely to the things that they are allergic to. They're also doing it with cow's milk. It's a lovely quote from Natasha Ednan Laperouse's mother in the paper. She says, Natasha would be 23 years old today if she was alive. What we're really feeling now is that there is hope. When we speak to these kids, they can talk about how it's really changed their lives, and that's absolutely amazing. So
it's inside the Sunday Times,
where the project goes.
Like
yeah, they're hoping to expand it. Just a small number of children currently taking part.
Interesting.